All right, what's today? St. Patty's Day. Happy St. Patty's Day, everybody. So what are we going to do tonight? My buddies are like, let's do Guinness beef stew. And I'm like, yeah, I'm into it. Let's do that. This is going to be good. So let's kind of go through a couple of things. So I've got some stock, some basic stock that I'm going to be using, but I really want to enhance the flavor and richness of my stock, and I don't want to use my 24-hour beef stock that I've got frozen. I use that for something else. I'm going to show you what I normally do. For a little quick stuff, I'll get these. These are like beef necks. They're like $2-3. And I'll brown these up. I'm going to brown these up and cook them for a while in some basic stock. So I'm just going to brown those and cook them in this for a little bit. Yeah, it's pretty simple, pretty easy. It's going to give a real richness, and then I'll remove the beef and I'll chunk it, or I could use it for some tacos or something, because it's not too bad actually. But I'm going to show you the other stuff I use for the beef. For the stew, I use a chuck roast. I'm going to show you what I got. So they didn't have any real basic stuff, so they had these, and I got a couple, but I'm probably going to use two. But just to give you an idea of the price, they're like $8 a pound, so it's like 27 and 22, 20, so it's like $50 for these. So if you don't want to spend that, you can try to get a lower quality cut of chuck roast. They have like base, like select or something, which is good for stews. You know, this is perfect for stews. But just letting you know. What else? What else goes in? We got carrots, we've got celery, we've got onions. Of course, we have beef stock, which we're going to be using in high grading. We've got some tomato paste. We've got salt and pepper. And of course, we've got some Guinness stout. Now, the recipe, most recipes generally call for one bottle of Guinness stout. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cook one of them down to like a thick glaze as much as I can, and then I'll add the other one in. So we'll take one of these and we'll cook it down almost all the way to nothing, so it's got a nice rich glaze, and then we'll use the other one right after that. So let's go ahead, and what we're going to do is start to brown these. And I've got this, the biggest Le Creuset you can get, and I use it a lot, as you can tell. But we're just going to add some oil and start to brown them. All right, so instead of using some olive oil or just vegetable oil, I had some beef tallow from these guys. I got these at Central Market some time ago. They were like $3 a piece. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm going to buy them. So I got like a dozen, or all they had. But we're going to melt this down real quick and then start browning. Hey, get down. What are you? Come on, get. Come on, you got to get down. You can't be up when Dad's cooking. Go on. Good girl. No. Wait. Hey, you have to get down. You can't be up here while I'm cooking. Doesn't look cool. Go on, even though I love you. Go on. Get. Go on. Good girl. Oh, she's very needy. And I got to re-clean the top again. Oh, bad girls. So just to show you what they look like, you know, some little small pieces, nothing crazy. Just going to put them in there. I'm just going to brown these up. Yeah. Get the others. There we go. So look, now you don't have to go through this step. This is just something, for me, it's going to allow the stew to have a richer flavor, because you're using these little beef pieces to really season up this basic beef stock, which you should always do. But if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. You may taste the difference if you compare them together, you may not, but this is a real easy thing to do. You get some inexpensive neck bones from beef, from pork. It turns out really, really well, guys. Doesn't take very long, you know. An hour after you brown this with the beef stock, totally fine. You can do it, you cannot do it, but let's just take a look, yeah? We're just gonna brown these up on all sides, real fast, about 5-10 minutes, and then we're gonna add in the stock. Let's take a look, yeah? Yeah. That's all we need. It only takes a few minutes. I've got it on medium high, so, and I'm not gonna run you through this whole process. I've got a YouTube video on it. You can go check it out on my channel. There you go. All right, while that's cooking, we're just gonna add in, this is just a real basic beef stock, guys. Most of these stocks don't have really any good flavor, but this is gonna help out. So all we're gonna do is just preheat this a little bit and move the process along. All right, and real fast. We got this almost coming to a boil. We're just gonna put these in here. Yep, just whoop, that's all we gotta do. We're just gonna enrich in the sauce. There you go. Now we're just gonna cook this for about an hour. All right, so With this, go ahead and cut it however you want, but I normally like to get 1 inch by 1 inch cube pieces. But remember, you'll probably break some stuff up around here. It will just happen naturally from cooking. So just get an idea, you know, just little pieces, not a big deal. Doesn't have to be perfect, but want to get little cubes, which is nice. If you want to take it down the vein, you can, like, because it's going to open up anyway while you're cooking. So, and we'll just do this. And you could cut this fat off if you want, if you really feel the need. See, these probably good to cut in half, about 1 inch by 1 inch on there. Take off some of that. I don't need all the fat because I'm already going to have it from the other stuff. You know, just cut them up, guys. Doesn't have to be perfect. You don't need it to be perfect. Yep. Just want to cut these down. There you go, little cubes. Basically what you would do for boeuf bourguignon. That's exactly what we're doing for this. Keep them in there and just go through the whole process. It's not going to take too long to do this. Just get a good sharp knife. Yep. Cut that piece right there. Nice, nice, easy. There you go. See? And then continue the process. There you go. So this is probably a total of how many pounds in this? 7? About 7 pounds. What is that? 3 and a, yeah, it's about 7 pounds. So just to give you an idea. Now, if you don't want something this big, just use half and cut them a little bit smaller if you need to. So all we're going to do now is just salt these puppies up. What do I got? Just got some basic sea salt. Use any kind of salt you want, guys. But we're going to season the stew anyway, but I always like to add some salt in the beginning. I don't know why. I've done it forever. Good, good, good. So we've got this cooking. Just going to add these in. Just going to add a bunch. Just grab them with your hand or something else. Just going to slowly put them in. We're going to brown these up nicely. Yep. That's good. That's good. We'll do this in 2 batches. That's a good color. These are pretty much done. We don't have to cook them through. We're just browning. And while this is cooking, and that's cooking, I got Miss Mignon watching me. Hey, Mignon. Meow. You okay, Boo? Yeah, she loves watching me cook. All right, I got all the veggies chopped up while this is wrapping up browning. I got carrots, I got celery, I got onions, I got potatoes, which I forgot to talk about earlier. And I've got some garlic in here. I'm going to chop it up. We're in good shape, guys. This is where we go. Of course, Guinness. So we got a couple. Yeah, we got a bunch, which is really nice. So this is our pot, and you can see there's a lot of residuals on the bottom, a lot of oil. What we want to do is spoon off about half of that. We really don't need all of that stuff, maybe 3/4. It's up to you. Otherwise, you'll have to spoon off some of the oil while you're cooking. But you can see all the stuff on the bottom. We're going to get that shortly. So let's go ahead and spoon some of this off. I'm going to saute these a bit. I'm going to add the garlic toward the end of this process. I don't want to burn the garlic. And there's the garlic. So this is pretty much where we want it to be. Now I've got some tomato paste to add in. But look, here's the stock, leftover pieces. Perfect, nice, rich stock, simple and easy. Best to add in some tomato paste, maybe a little bit more, I think. And look, if you think you need some more oil in here, add the remainder of the stuff you pulled out. And we're going to brown this just a little bit and then add in the fabulous Guinness. Look at here. All right, this has been here about 10 minutes cooking, so we're good. Let us deglaze with the Guinness Stout, but we're going to cook this one down and then add the other one in. And definitely scrape on the bottom, guys. Get all that stuff off, all the good stuff on the bottom. It'll come up anyway, but this will help with the process. Oh, it smells so good. That's the thickness we want. Let's go ahead and add the other one in. 2. These are almost 12 ounces. These are like 11.2. So let's say they're 11 ounces each. So now we got this. A good stir. Yeah. Nice. What we're going to do is add in our beef stock now. About 3 to 4 cups. Not all of this, but good portion. Remember, this has to cook on the stove for a couple hours. Very rich stock. Oh. Do about 5 of these. And there's no flour in here, guys. I haven't added any salt, but I do need to add some pepper. So we're going to do that real quick. Yeah. So I use these guys. It's pretty good. It's got a good smoky flavor. I could add salt, but I added salt along the way. So we'll taste it about halfway through this process. Yeah. Good, good. Let's add this in, along with all the lovely juices that I've collected. Got 2 of these. Here's the other one. There we are. Come on. Let's give this a little stir. See how much liquid we need. And now that you've got a concentrated beef stock in here, you can add just some regular stock or water. Either way, it's fine. Now we're going to add some more stock. So I did add the rest of the stock. So all gone. And added some water as well. But this gives you an idea of the consistency for right now. And we're going to bring this to a boil. And then we're going to cover it and reduce it to simmer for 2 hours. But one thing I'm not going to do, I'm not going to add the potatoes or the carrots yet. I'm going to give it about an hour. And then I'll do the carrots in about 30 minutes before it's completely done. Which means I'm probably going to have to thicken it up a little bit. I'll add the potatoes. Otherwise, these are just going to dissolve into nothing. So, and we don't want that. But there you go. So here we are. And we'll see you in a few hours. All right, it's been an hour. And it's on. It's been simmering on just under medium low. So let's go ahead and add the carrots in. What do you say? Yeah. You can chop these up if you want to. I just decided to keep them like this, which is fine. And you can see there's a little bit of oil on the top. We'll get that later. Not necessary now. So let's give about another hour. I'll tell you what, I'm going to add some more. I'm going to add some more carrots. I have some, which is good. But we'll add the potatoes in a little bit, just not right now. And I added some more carrots. And it's about 30 minutes, and then we'll add the potatoes in. I think it's been long enough. Let's go ahead and add the potatoes in. You can make it a little smaller if you want, but I think this size is good. See how it looks. Yeah. Still got to get that oil off the top, but I'll deal with that later. Needs about another 30 minutes and we're good, guys. See how tender this is. Yep, pretty close. All right, see you in 30. This is how it looks. So now what I'm gonna do, but it's still a little thin, I'm going to put it on medium high, uncovered, and let it cook for 30 minutes. And we're gonna cook off about a third of this liquid, but it's done as far as where it needs to be, as far as the meat and all the veggies are all where they're nice and soft and tender. That's what I'm trying to say. We'll give it about another 30 minutes and we'll see how it turns out. All right, guys.
Well, it's Alsace-Lorraine. I mean, it's been German, it's been French. Then you go German,
Alsace is kind of a funny breed because they have like German last names, but they're French.
Nice. It's Irish Day. Let's pick some food.
Outside, you know,
You know, Hitler went into Alsace, and all people that had Germanic last names, you just put them right into the German army. Can you imagine that?
yeah.
Yum.
You just
Need some more outside.
It's the old, you want the plomo or the plata?
There we are. There's some yummy. Look, everybody wants some. Yes.
Everybody wants some.